All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Loan Officer Breakfast Club, Monday, August 4th, 2025, my friends. Glad to have you here. We got a surprise for you this morning. We do have Owen Lee in the house. He has a big honkin' update for us on the good old trigger bill. So we're going to be waiting. Owen, can you hear us now? Did you get dialed in? Oh, we can't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Work on the microphone side of things. Glad we got the audio coming into you, so that's good. But no big deal. We'll get that all worked out. And
but
again,
as always, I do have his slides, and I'm fully prepared.
Exactly. We have Carl as a backup all the time. No need to worry. Hope you guys had a great weekend.
It'll sound a little different. Yeah, we got you. It'll sound a little different if Carl does it than Owen, but...
Oh, good morning, everybody. So glad to have you here at the Loan Officer Breakfast Club. Yeah, like I said, we got Owen as a special guest today. Normally we have him on Thursdays. He's got an update for us this morning. Before we get started with that, Owen, of course, we got our few minutes of kind of hanging out. By the way, I just wanted to point out how fascinating you look. I mean, hello, sailor. What is going on? What do we got going on today? My
wife keeps me well dressed. I don't know what to say.
Oh, you look terrific.
Thank you.
Hey,
hello, sailor. I'm not sure how I feel about
sailor.
That, Frank, but thank you. I think
it is indeed the compliment, my friend. Trust me.
All
right. So, hey, Jen, bring up the news stories that I want. I just want to start. I'm going to kind of start these breakfast clubs with a little bit of industry news. Just because why not? And of course, we'll get to wins. We do all that kind of fun stuff. But I'm going to have Jen share what was put out Friday on the Loan Officer Breakfast Club in the news. And we'll kind of touch base on it. It's just a few stories. If you're not familiar, I am going to drop the link in the chat for all of you, just so you do have it there, just so you got it. But daily, I go through and just gather what I think is pertinent news. And for me, the Carl, the news that I look for is like the good stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, the stuff that's like not so depressing. You know what I mean? Like, because there's plenty of that out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that there is.
Yeah. But, and sometimes you can't avoid it. Right. There's things in there that have to be done. Do you got it, Jen?
I do. I'm just getting a little
cattywampus.
It's the circle of death, but it's
the circle of death. Ah, okay, great. Well, hopefully it gets through it.
Here it is.
Oh, is it coming up? Good. All right, there it is. So there you go. So you can see this is the Loan Officer Breakfast Club homepage, guys. At the top, you got home, replays, and in the news. You click on in the news. I get that done pretty much by around 10 a.m. Eastern every day, right? And so last Friday, we had a few different stories. You'll notice that there's, of course, the big bold headline. Underneath that, just a quick synopsis paragraph. Underneath that, the first story. So if you can scroll down a little bit, Jen, to the first story. And this is just letting us know, in this story, there you go. Yeah, it's just, a little higher, the first story, actually. If you go up a little bit, yeah, a little bit, right there.
It sounds like she's scratching your back. A little bit, no.
Fed faces internal tensions over rate strategy. This is just letting us know, as Owen has brought up many times with regard to rates, that within the Fed themselves, there's a little turmoil. Some are saying that they should be easing up, while others, including Mr. Powell himself, is saying no. And so what's nice about understanding this is how this might impact us going forward. But Owen covers that really brilliantly for us every single week. So not too much to talk about there. But just to know that the Feds are kind of, the Fed is, they do have their internal struggle going on right now regarding that. Right, Owen? They do.
They do.
Yeah. So, and that could cause some things. Go ahead and scroll down a little bit, Jen. We'll get to the next story there. The next one is on, the student loan relief phases out September 1, apparently, and that is the interest accrual on student loans. So right now, through the COVID area, interest accrual on student loans was paused. That is being lifted September 1. So that could, of course, have impact on DTIs, things like that. So it's just something that we need to be aware of. Maybe let our customers know, maybe let our realtor partners know that that's coming around the corner. So that's there. You can see, guys, there's a read the full story link where you can click and go to the full story on who's ever reporting this. that's how this works. And then finally, down below, we have the new FHFA director, Mr. Pulte. There was an exclusive interview with him and Scotsman Guide. By the way, Carl, I really like Scotsman Guide. I know you do some writing in Scotsman Guide. You still do that?
I do.
Yeah, Scott. If you're not guys aren't familiar with Scotsman, it. I think it's originally it was meant to be this platform where as a mortgage broker you could find wholesale lenders, and it still does that. I know they still do that. But if you just go to the homepage every day on Scotsman Guide too, they've always got great news stories. I like Scotsman Guide's news stories too because they can kind of, they kind of dig into the dirt a little bit sometimes. You know what I mean? They kind of get the,
Fingernails.
Yeah.
Fingernails get a little dirty. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this guy said this about that guy. Did you know that?
Shocking.
There's a little bit of that goes on in there. Okay. But Mr. Pulte is saying he's got three core objectives. If you want to go back to the Pulte story there so I can read them. It's three core priorities. And of course, it's helping first-time home buyers, modernizing underwriting through tech, got to read into these words, just like with the Fed, every little word means a little something, right? So modernizing it. So I don't know, maybe changing the way the automated approvals work or whatever. And of course, the FICO score thing, right? He's got that cooking, right? And then also, but this is something interesting that he said here. He says, and enabling GSEs to pilot creative solutions like shared equity models. Shared equity models. I'm curious. Have you heard anything about that, Owen?
Well, I know that the director is working on a lot of different things, not just the things that the industry is bugging him to work on, like loan level pricing adjustments and things like that.
Yeah.
Shared equity models would be a stab at there are a lot of people that just can't get to the closing table. They just don't have enough money. And there are a lot of things, whether it's, the loan level price adjustments, whether it's, just the cost of the home, the rising cost of insurance, especially in the southeast part of the country, that are preventing that. So if you could expand the guidelines for, who and how many people can you use to qualify or kind of change that, the thought is you might get more people to the closing table, especially first-time home buyers.
Okay. So the other thing on shared equity that I was thinking, and maybe I'm wrong, but like in the state of California, they had this first-time home buyer program where you got the down payment, but it was a shared equity thing with the state. So down the road, if you sold or something like there was no payments on it or anything like that, but down the road, if you sold the property or refinanced the property, they got 20% of the equity that was built in the property.
Yeah, you can do shared equity models with the lender as well. There's a lot of people in the industry that are more skeptical on that.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. So, all right. So good stuff. Well, I just want to make sure you guys knew that that's happening every day. You can go to loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. I am working with the team to try and get it so we can have a subscribe button right on the news itself. So if you subscribe, as soon as the news is released, off it goes. One thing I forgot to show, Jen, I shut off your screen, but at the very bottom, there's a loan officer perspective and a realtor perspective.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so the loan officer perspective just kind of gives you some thoughts on, what your perspective should be based on these stories and maybe some action items you can take along with your realtor too. It's actually very shareable with realtor partners. It really is because it helps them as well. So we'll keep
we do write the realtor perspective on a fourth grade reading level. So it could be. No, I'm just kidding.
Frank, are you going to add a comic strip? Come on, bring back Snoopy or Calvin and Hobbes. Come on, we gotta have a
The Far Side.
Great idea.
Need the Far Side.
God, I wonder if you could get away with publishing that, or like posting that into a blog post. I wonder, is it considered? What do they call that? Whatever domain or whatever it is,
Creative
public domain.
domain.
I don't know. Anyway. If you're getting value from this already, go ahead and tap that like button. It helps more loan officers find content that actually makes a difference. And hey, if staying ahead of the market and learning what's really working in our industry matters to you, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. We read every comment, so drop your thoughts down below. We'd love to hear from you and know what's working or what you'd like us to cover next. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you here next time. Well, guys, big news. We have got Mr. Owen Lee on a special day to give us an incredible news update, my friends.
I haven't been played in by a band in a long time.
Well,
I like it.
I try to make our guests happy. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I am here to kind of celebrate with everybody this morning, to celebrate with all 325-ish people that are on this call, because the Trigger Leads bill, if you haven't heard, the Trigger Leads bill passed the Senate unanimously by voice vote.
Wow.
Late Saturday night, probably about 11:30. Some people might have missed it. They were doing this kind of, whatever you call it, a vote-a-thon, a vote-a-rama in the Senate, trying to get a lot of President Trump's sub-secretary, assistant cabinet kind of approved, because he doesn't have most of his administration in place yet. And we were able to convince the senators. When I say we, I'm wearing my Mortgage Bankers Association hat. A lot of the lobbyists at the MBA have been working on getting the leader to take a voice vote on our bill. Remember where we were? We had the House was the second one to pass. And so we were able to get the Senate to pass the House version. So now we have a version that is passed by the House, that is passed by the Senate, that is only awaiting the president's signature. And all indications are that he will sign it. I don't know exactly when, but things are looking very good for our bill. We're literally on like the quarter yard line. We're going to do I think I saw Kristen Simpson on this call. Well, all we have to do is the Philadelphia Eagles brotherly shove play to get that thing over the finish line.
The technical term is the tush push.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. The tush push. Yeah, we're gonna learn the tush push, and we're gonna get this thing across the finish line. So, just an incredible achievement. This is something that, in 2023, we started on 2 years. Is a pretty gosh dang short period of time in Washington, D.C. to get a bipartisan bill passed. I know you've heard me mention before, there's somebody that worked here, but our dear departed friend, Chrissy Ray, who ran the Residential Board of Governors at the time, was the main person pushing the NBA toward introducing legislation. She unfortunately passed away of cancer in November of 2024, but this thing got across the finish line, and there's a long list of people to thank for that. So what do we have? Let's just review. What we have is 6 months after the day that the president signs this bill, we're going to change the frame of reference, right? Right now, you have to opt out of Trigger Leads. In the new world, you will have to opt in to wanting to receive them. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. I don't think that many people are going to do it. And then you are able to still get the Trigger Leads without the consumer opt-in. If you're the third party that's originated the original loan, if you're the servicer of the current loan, or you're an insured depository or an insured credit union that holds the consumer for account. So if you get permission, if you're the originator of the loan, if you're a servicer or depository, we're really now going to be competing 181 days after the president signs this bill. We're going to be competing with only 3 people, right? It's going to be the originator who originated the loan. It's going to be the servicer, and it's going to be the depository. And I don't know how many of the 350 of us that are on this call right now work for a depository, but those folks aren't always the most entrepreneurial people. So I really think it's going to come down to a battle of the originator and the servicer. So we're going to have to, as originators, right? Most of the people on this call are originators. We're really going to have to think about and make sure we're aligned with a company that is getting us the information to win in this new environment. It's not automatic, but it's going to be way better than it was before for everybody. So I just have some screenshots.
Hey, Owen,
there
real
might
quick,
be some nerds.
Hey,
Go
Owen,
ahead, Carl.
Yeah, real quick. Michael Harris is asking an excellent question. All the questions are great here, but he's asking something. Hey, so on the originator that originated the loan, will that count? Like if Michael is a broker and he didn't, his institution didn't officially originate the mortgage, whoever UWM or whoever he uses did. Does that still count for Michael? Like if Michael's a broker that originated the loan, can he call the trigger leads?
So to the best of my knowledge right now, the implementation will be that he will be able to get that lead.
Like whoever took the application and submitted the loan and underwriting, that would count.
Right.
Okay,
that's pretty awesome. If that plays out like that, that is really freaking awesome, man.
Owen, why the 6-month delay?
Because we were fighting a huge dragon with the 3 credit bureaus, and that's one of the things that we kind of got in there. There was a representative from California, her name escapes me right now, who has 2 of the 3 credit bureaus have offices, and she was really pushing hard against it. And the 6-month delay was something that that was a concession made to get the unanimous voice vote. And it's not unusual in Washington, D.C. to have a waiting period for something to go into effect. So 6 months, although we're all very, very tired of this issue in the grand scheme of things, 6 months is not a huge period of time in Washington, D.C., think.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably too. I mean, she probably fought for that for her credit bureaus that she's aligned with too.
Oh, there was a lot of, listen, we had, and again, when I say we, I'm kind of wearing my MBA hat, but we had a lot of money lined up against us, most from the credit bureaus, but we had public opinion on our side, and so we carried the day. And I think they got to find a way to make up for that money. So that now they've got 6 months to regroup and try and figure something out, because it may come in the form of your credit reports are now $199. Who knows? Gee, I don't know anything about that, Frank. I've never heard of that issue before.
Yeah. And I wonder, this is going to be, I don't know, we're just getting the news now, but there's a lot of interesting things to come up, Carl. Like, let's say I'm working at, I don't know what, Bank of Palm Harbor, and then I move over to Success Mortgage Partners. Since I was the originator when I was with Bank of Palm Harbor or mortgage company at Palm Harbor, when I move over and say hypothetically work with you, Owen, does that client travel with me, or would it be the original institution that originated that loan?
It should be the institution, the way the legislation's written. Which will be a little bit of a hurdle, but what you're going to see is smart companies have a strategy for this, right? So first of all, most people aren't using trigger leads right now, meaning most people don't get the trigger leads from their own past customers right now. Our loan officers do, but most do not, industry-wide. And there's also a strategy for that. Remember, you can get permission. So presumably, when loan officer A goes from Palm Harbor Bank to Success Mortgage Partners, or any other good entrepreneurial company, and there are many, will have a system for reaching out to the database to get that permission. Because remember, you got to think of this as and both, not either or, because most are not using it, and most are not using it successfully right now.
That's a great point. So it's readily available in most most
That's
by
right.
far. Like I guess the question you're asking, Owen, is how many of us now, if Jen did a loan through you and now Jen's buying another house and she applies for a mortgage, how many today on this call gets notified that Jen just did a new application with, Bank of Frank instead of
Your
me?
past customers, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a great
And
point.
so presumably if you're using like a trust engine, or I know Total Expert has a product like that. I think it's called Consumer Analytics. There are a few others that sell that, but if you're not using one of those, you don't get that information right now. Underneath the new legislation, you still won't get the information unless you sign up for a service that provides it. But the service that provides it will require, they're going to want to know, how do you fit into this to make sure I'm sending it to somebody who's legally able to get it?
I could just tell everybody, until that everything gets put into play, make your loan amount $10,000 with your purchase price $10,000 with a fictitious email and a fictitious phone number, and you literally pull yourself out of the lead pool. Nobody wants that loan. Nobody's buying it. And
yeah, that was a good,
restore.
Todd. That's a good strategy, and it was a good strategy for a long time. Some companies have started to buy those, knowing that there's a lot of people that fictitiously put legit borrowers in that pool.
I skew the email, and everybody's phone number is 407-555-1212. So you're not. You're going to have to go through a lot of extra steps to get my stuff.
Those of you that are old enough, like Carl and Frank and I, want to know, does the information lady still pick up the phone and offer the regular phone number?
555-1212.
That's the old.
I love the fact that other people caught it.
Yeah.
Usually people are just like, "Why that number?" And I'm like, "Because it's the old information number."
That's right.
I used to.
I love it.
Years ago, I used to use. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but years ago, what I used to do is put in the local sheriff department's phone number.
Great.
If they call and the sheriff answer, they go, "Okay, I don't know who this is or what this is, but I'm out." So I don't know.
Yeah. Wasn't it called
popcorn? So these last couple slides we just have, I don't know if there were any nerds like me watching C-SPAN on Saturday night when we heard that this thing might come up. I may or may not have had a bourbon in my hand, but these are just some screenshots when the acting president of the House called the bill. And Jen, if you want to advance to the next slide, this is Leader Thune, who's a Republican from South Dakota, actually asking for the unanimous consent vote. And this is when we got it across the finish line in the Senate. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Great stuff, man. What a cool, man. It kind of really accelerated, didn't it? Like it just all of a sudden it just grew legs and started running.
I tell you, things and it's really that, I feel like I'm definitely making MBA plugs here, and I guess I am this morning, but we had a couple of national advocacy conferences over a 2-year period of time. We had like 900 people on the Hill. We had over 500 individual representative meetings. First couple of years we did it, not many people knew what the trigger lead bill was. When I went back in April of 2025 and we did it again, I think I did 16 meetings over a 2-day period of time, and everybody knew what the trigger lead bill was.
Wow.
And so we just, that's what happens when you push a boulder uphill. Sooner or later, you get to the top and you get to come back down the other side. In 2023 and 2024, we're pushing it up the hill. When we almost got it across the finish line, a lot of people got educated about it. Remember, we almost got it across the finish line in that Defense Authorization Act last December. And, that's when even though we weren't successful at that point in time, that's when we really kind of gained the high ground, so to speak.
Hey, thanks for enjoying this Loan Officer Breakfast Club YouTube video. If you are into industry news, if you like to keep up with what's going on within the mortgage and real estate industry, you might not be aware of this, but you can get free news snippets every single day by going to loanofficerbreakfastclub.com. In the top nav bar, you'll see in the news. Click it. Daily, fresh news about the mortgage and real estate industry. There's even loan officer perspective and realtor perspective on each news story that you can make use of in your marketing. So enjoy loanofficerbreakfastclub.com/in the news. Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Very interesting.
Wow.
Well,
Cool.
here's an interesting fact. So I was talking with a CEO of a large mortgage company. I don't know. This is probably like 6 months ago or so, and he was telling me that they had a service where the loan officer got notified of these triggering events. Like now, and he was sharing with me that around 16 to 17%.
Sounds really tempting.
Oh, really?
It does sound tempting. And,
we might want to tune into that conversation.
yeah, I like that one better.
Hello, sailor.
Yeah.
All right. Back to it, Carl.
They were saying that only about 16 to 17% of those leads got called in the first place by that loan officer. And I think, one of the reasons why the trigger leads has been so frustrating for many of us is the loan officers that are employed to do nothing but that, their speed to lead is incredibly fast. Yeah. And so one thing we were going to talk about today, but obviously the breaking news take precedence. Tomorrow morning here on Breakfast Club, we're going to talk about the speed to lead and how to overcome this, thing where we get these leads. And frankly, we're slow on getting with them. I saw, Owen and I have been talking about this for years, and I just verified the number. It's yesterday that it's still 79% of borrowers close with the first loan officer they speak with. And
amazing statistic. Yeah.
I got a couple more. You're 21% more likely to convert a lead if you contact them in the first 5 minutes. Waiting 30 minutes, just 30 minutes, cuts the chances in half. Wow. Get this. The industry average response time to a lead is 47 hours.
Yeah.
47 hours is the average. Like I give you a lead, Kristen, and say, hey, call this person. The average response time, the average time calling back that lead is 47 hours. I got another one. Less than 7% respond within 5 minutes. Less than 7%. And companies that respond within 5 minutes are 27 times more likely to even just talk to the lead to begin with. 27 more times. And so it's like, hey, I'm getting ghosted. Well, the reason why we're getting ghosted is people are
somebody's already called them.
Somebody's already called
them. They've moved on.
Yeah. And so we're going to be talking tomorrow.
Think about think about the math behind that. We all have a super powerful calculator walking around in our hands. Multiply some small percentage by 27 and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's remarkable. So tomorrow we're going to talk about how to respond faster without getting burned out. We're going to talk. We're going to show you some really cool ways to automate that first touch, without it sounding like robotic. And we're also going to talk about like how do you handle this at nights, on weekends, or when you're with the kids, or you're meeting with an agent, or you're meeting with another family. We're going to talk about some really, really, really clever solutions to all those things. So be sure to be here tomorrow morning, and we're going to start we got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about strategies. So be sure to get here on time tomorrow.
Get in early. Get in early tomorrow.
So great news, Owen. Great news, buddy.
Yeah. And one thing I'll say is, and we should really, my dad has always wanted to talk to me about the fact that in our business lives, sometimes we don't take enough time to appreciate our successes before we move on to the next thing. Everybody's aware of their challenges. He used to keep a journal of the things that he did correctly. And sometimes when he was getting down, he'd go back and read through that journal. But I see, so it's important that we kind of take a breath and celebrate this trigger leads thing. But I see a lot of comments in here about pulling credit, the cost of pulling credit. Frank, you alluded to it earlier. I would just say that there's a lot of work being done behind the scenes on that. I'm a part of some of those conversations. Some of the things we can talk about, most of the stuff we can't talk about. There are some things that we can talk about. So I promise on a future Thursday, I'll talk about the things that we can talk about, and just know that everybody's opinions on that are not unheard, and we'll just leave it at that.
Good. Awesome stuff. Thank you. Hey, can we
Yep.
count on you for Thursday? You good for Thursday for our regular
I
morning
am good
update?
for Thursday.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
All right, good enough.
Assuming everyone doesn't get sick of me.
Nah. Well, not if you keep dressing
Aren't
like
you
that,
I
fella.
can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to see the next outfit.
Chris Johnstone, we haven't heard peep out of you.
Good morning.
What's going on? How are you doing?
I'm fantastic, Frank.
You got some input for tomorrow, maybe, on speed to lead? Got some thoughts?
Absolutely, I do. It's tech when you take the technology and you combine it with the knowledge of why it's important, and then you put the right scripts to it. That's the trifecta of what actually generates the results. So, I sit in that small sliver of the technology to help do more with less. And Carl and Owen and Frank and everybody else here really helps with the education and what to say and how to say it and how to be there so that you give the right products to the right people. So
I can tell you, without technology, man, you're in for a tough time, and it's not getting easier. Like people are expecting those instant answers faster and faster and fast. That's why video on the web is getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter because people click off. So our attention spans have gotten incredibly short. And mine too. It's like, well, that's not, well, yeah, kind of me too, I guess. I expect the same thing too. So we're gonna be talk about technology. Yeah, you have to have the technology, or it's impossible. It's not likely that we're going to be in a scenario where you Dave, or you, Melissa, are going to be able to answer your phone 24. You can't do it. Like, you have some sort of technology. So at the very
Carl,
least,
I got a
go ahead,
funny
Chris.
story about that. Sorry.
Tell me.
So, dear friends of mine, he owns the largest plumbing company in the area. So I helped him out with some AI and put a process in place where AI picks up their phone. So after hours, when they don't have the lady that picks up the phone, AI picks up the phone. So they came over for dinner on Friday night. And while we were having dinner, after we finished, there was 5 phone calls that came into their plumbing company, all answered by AI, all pre-booked for service calls the next day or Monday.
See.
And one of them came in, and he gets the transcription that gets sent to his phone because it's and so anyways, like, somebody calls in and literally there's a pipe in their house that's leaking. They talk to the AI and they're like, okay, I'll book a call for tomorrow morning. And they got the plumbing job for the next morning. And I was like, is it not like you've got a broken pipe and there's water in your house? Do you not want somebody like right away? But the AI was first to get the call, first to book appointment, got the customer. So the mortgage business is no different. That speed to lead and being first to it, as tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun.
I just what was it, on Thursday or Friday? I got a call from a guy. I'm going to call him Loan Officer Larry, not his real name. He gave me, listen to these stats. He said, I got a referral at 9:12, right? And he said, I called at 9:21. So we're talking 9 minutes. And when he got a hold of the borrower said, oh, I'm sorry, somebody already helped me. The agent gave me 2 cards, and the other lady answered when I called. And so he figured out, he did the math, that 9-minute delay cost him around, you don't hit the exact number because I didn't get the deal, but it cost him around $4,200.
Sure.
And that's just the reality of the business, that 9 minutes. Hell, I started thinking about that. Hell, in 9 minutes, they had already talked to him and got at least the preliminary information, or if nothing else, set an appointment, like what you're saying, Chris, set an appointment for them to talk to. And once they set an appointment, at least in that person's mind, and this $4,200, they felt like they were already in process, even if it was just the appointment set. I don't know, but I do know he lost the deal. So it's the speed to lead is a big deal.
Is there a service that we can sign up? We can get into that'll answer our phone like that. Is there a separate service?
So we're gonna talk about that tomorrow.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be on. Okay, it's gonna be within that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Carl, what was the 1960s version of that tease? It's same bat time.
Yeah.
Same bat channel.
Yeah.
Did you know? Wait. Did you know? Did you know? Okay, this is going way back too. Remember the lady that played the assistant on Barnaby Jones?
No.
It's two.
Do you remember the old show Barnaby Jones? No.
Yes.
Only old fart
Don't
here.
remember the lady that played the assistant.
I see a couple people. So the lady that was the assistant on Barnaby Jones was also the cat lady, the original cat lady in Batman.
No way.
And so, yeah. And if you,
Wow.
yeah. So anyway.
Carl, just in my mind, there's a difference between Catwoman and a cat lady.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just
Catwoman.
gonna keep
Catwoman.
those-
Yeah.
I'm
I
just
couldn't remember her name.
gonna keep
No,
those two things
Catwoman.
separate.
Right. You're right.
I know.
Catwoman.
I know we're getting way off topic for a Monday morning, and sailors are coming on the show and everything, but
Orvetta got it. Yeah, it's Lee Merriweather. So I saw her in a movie, and I'm sitting here thinking, I know this lady from somewhere, and I couldn't figure it out. And so I chat GPT'd her name, and they said, oh, she was the original Catwoman in Batman. I said, no freaking way. So anyway.
All righty then. Well, before we get out of here, guys, I just want to make sure everybody sees Kristen Simpson. She's back, so she's here. She's
the Catwoman in the upcoming episode. She's
she's here. So just want to make sure we got to see her. Hi, Kristen. Yeah. There you go. All right. So with that, Owen Lee, thank you so much. Hey, you guys have a great day. We'll be back here tomorrow. Speed delete, man. Get in early. We're not going to waste any time tomorrow. We're getting right to it, my friends. Get in, get the information, get out, get some loans. You guys have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Adios.
Have a Monday.
Have a great day, everybody.
Hey, Kristen,
Yes.
join me in my link real quick if you can.
Yes, sir.